Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. It's great to practice with you today. I'm Karen, coming to you from Salt and Sand Studios in Vermont. And today our focus is on slow things down, speed things up, making the practice your own practice with simplifications or embellishments. Today we're going to run through a few sequences a few times each. I'll walk you through them the first 2 times, and then the third time, you are on your own. Doesn't mean I won't help you out. But we'll start with a warm-up sequence. We're going to start standing today. I know we've done a lot more seated or lying down recently, if you've taken more of the recent practices into hand. So bony hips are in the front of the body, and your feet should be bony hips with distance. We're going to start in a mountain pose, almost as if we were seated in a meditative pose. But perhaps there's a little bit of swaying forward and back and side to side and obliquely as you allow the body to kind of find its equilibrium. If you can, the palms face forward and the thumbs outward, but that's not requisite. And we check in with the body. What do the toes feel like? Maybe you wiggle them around, wriggle them around, scrunch them up, loosen them out. And then without locking the heels, you're sending energy into the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet without locking the knees. How would you lock your heels? We guide our awareness upward, feeling the shins and the calves, and settling in on the knees for a moment. I can feel my left knee is locked, but my right knee is a little soft. So let's get our little softness there. And that might cause the pelvis to shift if the belly is not quite active. So you're going to draw the navel in and up toward the spine. And if you can, you start to feel like the tailbone is connecting right into the earth, straight down. And then a little tiny lift from the top of the pelvis all the way to the breastbone. An opening up of the collarbones. A shifting of the neck so it's a little bit long, not necessarily turtling or completely tucking the chin back. And check in with the shoulders. Are they hanging up around your ears? Are they softening down and backward? As if a beautiful, warm, refreshing waterfall was splashing over your head and your neck and causing this stupendous relaxation. Elbows, wrists, thumbs, fingers, jaw, eye sockets, crown of the head. Inhale, sweep your arms up and out. Remain here for the breath out. By the way, these are allergies that are causing me to cough. Open up the fingers and start to feel energy from the center of the chest all the way to the fingertips. And from the center of the spine, right between the shoulder blades, all the way out the backs of the arms to the tip of the middle finger. That will activate your triceps. Next inhale, reach the arms overhead. Maybe you press the palms together there. Maybe you look up, even if the eyes are closed. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastiti. We find that same opening across the collarbones and relaxation of the neck and shoulders. Hands drop by your sides. Inhale, arms reach out. Remain here for the breath out. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, this time a forward fold, hands through your heart. Let everything hang. Your belly is contacting the thighs. How about interlacing your fingers behind your head and dropping your elbows? Letting gravity help you out here. Exhale, release the hands from that. Halfway lift, breath out or in, your choice. Full cycle of breath. Second breath out, release and fold.
Take that again, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Release and fold. One more time. Full cycle of breath. And a fold. Unravel all the way to standing, taking your time. Head and arms and shoulders heavy. Use the legs, use the belly, hands by your sides. Arms float out. Remain here for the breath out. Arms float up. Remain here, lengthening the torso. Bring the fingertips to the nape of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Elbows bend out and up, and then press the head back into those pillows that are your forearms. Sit into a high chair, so just a slight bend of your knees. So you can draw the energy back to the heels and back toward the sitting bones. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Breathe out and fold. Rise up. Large muscles starting to work. Hands to your heart. Cactus shape arms. And then wide arms, where we'll take arm circles, small ones to start, single direction. Make them larger. They might go slower or not. And then super large Saturn rings. Extra large, supersized, value size. All those American phrases, but this in such goodness. Price is not an issue. And then small circles backwards, or the opposite direction you were going. Medium sized. Giant. I'm in a giant clam. Hands up. In the good sense. Exhale, hands to your heart. Eyes closed, and maybe you find that little movement rocking around in slight circles or ellipticals, or left and right, front and back, edge to edge. And imagine now you're the beneficiary of the Earth's energy, because, well, in fact you are. But we'll make a finer point on it. Feeling the energy of the Earth connected to your feet, you'll start to draw the inner arches upward. And the energy from the Earth then rises up those arches, up the inseams, all the way to your bony hips. And then it spreads around to the back, softening the lower spine. And then it comes back up the center of the spine and spreads out to the shoulders. It runs along the shoulders and then back toward the throat, along the collarbones. And then up toward your center forehead. This beautiful, natural Mother Earth energy to the crown of the head. And maybe if you are like me, you just felt a little tingle at the crown of the head. Allow that energy to disperse upward, as if now it is surrounding you, an aura of energy, a bubble of energy, an egg of energy. And consider here what brought you to your mat, or establish an intention for the rest of the practice. It is your practice. You may embellish or simplify. You may modify or change. You may not do things or do more things or do things differently. And most of all, most importantly, safety and some fun. Let's celebrate practicing together with the sound of an Om. Assuming my cough doesn't overtake it,
We'll take a full cycle of super duper gorgeous cleansing breath and inhale. And out the mouth. And now for Om, deepest inhale. We are now going to run through our first sequence that we will do twice on each side, but we'll do right side, left side, right side, left side. And then we'll take the whole thing again on our own. And I'll give you little cues. I'll try not to cue the whole time, but feel free to add in hand gestures or simplify, not do some things, or go faster. So maybe you do it twice on both sides. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Exhale for a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Third time's a charm. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Unravel all the way to standing. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Give it a little tug. Tilt over. Inhale, release your grasp. Rise up. Tilt to the left, holding on to the right wrist. Inhale, rise up, cactus shape arms. Inhale. Exhale, sit into chair. Drop your hands behind you. Interlace the fingers or hook them. Draw the knuckles down, long arms. Chair. Forward fold with your bind. Breathe in. Breathe out. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Runner's lunge, left foot back. Exaggerate your movements into it. And a twist. Don't worry, you won't have to remember it all on your own. Right hand down. Tap your left knee to the ground. And then lengthen both legs so you're pressing the hips backward and up. Hands move forward. Step into a standing split. Knee draws to nose. Foot drops. Rise up to standing. We'll take that to the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Runner's lunge, right foot to the back. Right hand stays down, left arm floats high. Nice long stance. Exhale, left hand down. Tap the back knee. Extend both legs, straight knees as much as you can. Lift the hips. Hands creep forward, standing split. Knee to nose. Foot draws down. Inhale, float to standing. Our second time through. Exhale, forward fold. 3 halfway lifts, taking your time or going fast, your choice. We'll meet standing. Use those collarbones, use the belly. We rise to standing. Grasp the left wrist with the right fingertips and tilt over to the right. Breath out, press into the left foot. Lift up, switch your grasp, but tilt to the opposite side. Lift up, cactus shape arms. Hands drop behind you. Lengthen the arms. Chair pose bound. Sit a little deeper. Breathe in. And a forward fold. Breathe in. Release the hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Left foot steps to the back of the mat. And a twist. Hand down. Back knee taps. Extend both legs, stretching them, including the knees. Standing split. Knee to nose. Foot to the earth. Inhale, float to standing. Exhale, forward fold. This is our second time on the second side. Halfway lift. Forward fold.
Back foot to the back of the mat. Maybe this time as you twist, you take a different hand gesture or a half bind. Maybe you take your time stretching front to back, left hand down, tap your back knee. Lift the knee, lengthen and fold over the front leg. Hands move forward, half split. Maybe you take ankle circles here, knee to the nose, foot drops. Rise up to standing. This time, finding as much as you can on your own, hands to your heart. We'll take it from the top. I know there's quite a few postures in that sequence, so I will guide you to the posture, but not necessarily the individual instruction. Arms lift, forward fold. 3 halfway lifts. Take your time or go fast. That is your time if fast is right. We meet in standing for our side bends. You could adjust how you're bending. Doesn't matter which side goes first. We start with the cactus arms, a little baby back bend, and then deepen it by dropping the hands behind us. We move into a chair pose, maybe more than one breath here, maybe a little embellishment or zhuzh up. Then your choice on your forward fold. Maybe you stay there with extra breath. Maybe you move out of the bind and into a front bind. Hands release, half lift. Runner's lunge on the right. Knee drops, maybe you take full Anjaneyasana or half split. Extend both legs. Maybe you take this sort of runner's lunge extension more than once. Standing split. Knee to your nose. Foot down, lift to standing. Forward fold. A single half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, before your runner's lunge with the right foot back. Back knee might tap. Lengthen and fold. Standing split. Knee to nose. Foot down, rise to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice. We're going to take that one more time, and this time we're going to go back into downward dog. Hands drop, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. And a fold. 2 more. We find our side bends. I'm twinkling my fingers into cactus shape arms. Hands drop behind. Collarbones get smiley, belly in and up, chair pose modified, or feet together but bound, and a fold over the legs. Hands release for a half lift. And a fold, left leg to the back of the mat, runner's lunge. I'm going to take my twist from the knee down with a bind. And I'll move into a half split instead of the standing length of the leg. I'm going to move into standing split. Knee to nose. Foot returns to the mat. Rise up. Forward fold. Maybe you move into a swan dive here. Half lift. Forward fold, runner's lunge, right foot to the back of the mat. I'm going into a dropped knee for my twist. You could be in runner's lunge and extend, or maybe your knee is down like mine. Extend into half split for a moment. Standing split right leg up. Knee to nose. Foot to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step back, high plank. Pause in your high plank. Nice. We made it through the first round. Knees might drop, or maybe you find low plank. Nose, chin, chest to the mat. And a nice baby back bend. Forward fold. Let's move into tabletop for a moment. Situating. I know I said we go into downward dog, but we're going to tabletop first. Finding the wrists under the shoulders. We'll then float the right leg behind with the ball of the foot on the mat. Square the hips up, engage the belly, engage the quad, the hamstrings, the kneecap toward the right quad. Rock forward and backward, opening up the calf and the sole of the foot. Pause with shoulders over wrists and lift the right leg. Square the hips. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Knee above the right elbow. Inhale, breathe. Knee crosses the body toward the left elbow. Inhale, extend. Foot moves out to the right. See if you can keep that nice and strong before you land the foot onto the ground. Walk the hands back toward the knee. Rise up, gate latch pose, arms overhead. Right hand down, left arm tilts. Left hand down outside the left knee, right arm tilts, hips come forward. And we move into tabletop. Drawing that leg up and behind, knee to the nose. Breathe in. I'll take that to the other side. You might need some cats and cows or hip circles or a little sway left to right before we get there. Left leg extends. Square up those hips. Activate all those piece parts that allow for the blood to warm and spread. Muscles to warm and be strong. Square hips, strong belly, lift the left leg. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Knee above the left elbow. Breathe in, get long. Knee crosses the body. Breathe in. Leg stretches to the left. Foot drops. Whole foot presses to the earth as you rise up onto your right knee. Arms overhead for gate latch. And then we take a tilt. Left hand down, right arm over. Right hand down outside the right knee, left arm over. Nice, long, beautiful shift of the hips forward. Press that leg straight and tabletop. Left leg lifts, moves behind, knee to nose. Extend. Knee to the earth, and we move into child's before we go into downward dog. Make this your child's pose. Maybe the knees are together. Maybe you find a little movement. Maybe you do something with the arms and the elbows and the fingers. Maybe the hands bind behind you. Wherever you go, 6 breaths. Hands drop down if they're bound somewhere. We meet in child's. Draw into a tabletop that's a little bit long, so your hands are about 3 or 4 inches in front of the shoulders, but on the mat. Knees now, hips width distance. We tuck the toes under. We take a big breath in and gather the belly up. Press high with the hip bones, using the belly, the feet, the hands, and the strength of the arms. Down dog. Pedal in and out, or find some other thing that makes the downward dog your downward dog, appropriate, supported for your body today in this moment. That might mean lifting a leg or something else. I'm going to rise up to the tippy toes, press the chest toward the thighs, and then walk the hands toward the feet until eventually the heels come down to the mat for a forward fold at the back of your mat. You will need to bend your knees likely, or maybe not. Making sure the feet are parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Your choice, a bind, a sway, a hang. Draw your fingertips to the mat. Bring your feet at least as wide as your shoulders, maybe wider. Take your left fingertips, plant them on the mat underneath your face. Bend your left knee a lot. Bring the heel of your right hand to your low back and lift halfway up. Take a twist over to the right, working to extend the right leg as much as you possibly can, opening up the IT band. We'll take that to the other side. Right hand drops. Left leg lengthens. Right knee bends. Heel of the left hand to your low back. A half lift. Press that left leg nice and long and then twist. Drop both hands down. Heel toe the feet back toward one another. We're going to move into a squat. So the feet are bony hips width distance. The sitting bones come down toward the heels. If you need your hands for balance or blocks under the hands, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to work the hands toward the heart. See if the shoulders can stack over the hips. A single steady focus, drishti. Whoa. I was looking at my shadow, which was moving. It's just yoga. We're going to press to a chair pose, Utkatasana, with the hands at the heart. Working our squats a little bit here. Rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Hands to your hips. Float the right knee up. Lengthen the leg and step forward. Switch into airplane or bird, left leg high. Might not come very high. Left knee up. Left leg extends. Step forward, switch into airplane or bird, right leg high. High might mean the toes are on the ground. High might mean the hip and the heel are aligned. And stand forward. My balance. Woo, working on that today. Hands by your sides, arms lift high overhead. Exhale for a forward fold. Halfway lift, our second sequence Runner's lunge, left foot back. Hover over your right leg, hands by your side, heart forward, lift up to crescent warrior. Open up warrior two. Reverse your warrior, right palm flips. Side angle. Left arm high. Maybe rock and roll hand here. Maybe some other mudra. Warrior two, you might find a half bind and reverse. Warrior two, front leg straightens. Triangle pose, take your time. Extended side angle, front knee bends, right hand drops. Maybe you touch the ground, maybe you do not. Lizard pose, coming to the ball of the left foot. The back knee might drop. Right foot moves out to the right. Toes and heel are parallel. Maybe extend that back leg a little bit more. Open the right foot like a book. Forearms could come down, or maybe they don't. Maybe you find something else. Maybe you like a lizard twist here. Hands under the shoulders, right foot returns to the mat. Back foot steps up to meet the front foot, and we heel toe the feet back together. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Runner's lunge, right foot back. You know where this is going, so situate the body so you can hover over your left thigh. Beautiful statue on the bow of a ship, rise up crescent. Open up warrior two. Your pace, your embellishments or simplifications, reverse. Warrior two, side angle. Warrior two, reverse. Extend your front leg. Triangle pose. Extended side angle, left knee bends. Lizard pose. Lizard twist. Lizard twist with a quad stretch. Remembering that our theory today is that we can each find our own practice and be okay with the fact that it is different from what is being instructed. We go inward, aware of what the body might be asking for, and allow that to come to fruition. We'll take that sequence again. Hands drop under the shoulders. We step forward and rise to standing. Hinge over the hips, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Forward fold, runner's lunge, left foot back. Hover. Crescent warrior, make it yours. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. I'm going to move into a bind here because that feels right for me today. Faster or slower, warrior two. Reverse. Triangle pose. Extended side angle, bend in the front knee. Lizard. Don't forget to move the foot out so you're not torquing your knee and your ankle. Twist or quad stretch or stay right where you are. We come back up to meeting in the front of the mat. Feet parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Rise to standing for the other side. Ooh, yeah, forward fold, maybe like a swan dive. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. And a fold to a runner's lunge, right foot back. Situated for your hover. Open up the collarbones, rise up, crescent. I'm going to go into cactus here. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Make it yours. Warrior two. Reverse. Trikonasana triangle. Lizard. We have one more round on the standing postures, running it on our own with our own simplifications, modifications, alternatives, embellishments. Yay, last time on the right side, hands plant, back foot steps up to meet the front, float to standing, pressing, rooting to rise nice and tall. Yippee! Forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, your half lift. And a fold to find your runner's lunge, left foot back. Faster or slower if you like. Hover over your right thigh. Open up, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift up, crescent warrior. I'll add a little mudra here. Warrior two. Maybe I'll keep that mudra. Deepening into warrior two for a reverse. And floating beautifully into side angle. I'm making this mine with more of a focus on getting into the pose than finding it. Warrior two, reverse. Trikonasana, triangle pose, yeah. Lizard. This time I'm going to move into a twist myself. But first, that right foot up to the right. And with a twist, you point the toes outward and the heel inward. Hands down, we meet at the front of the mat. Feet parallel to the front of the mat. Rise up, nice and tall. Feeling space and consciousness call us upward, even as we're rooted to the ground. Sweep down into your fold, find your Ardha Uttanasana. Move into runner's lunge, right foot at the back of the mat. Create your hover. Floaty, floaty, floaty with an open heart and your crescent. Warrior two, make it yours. Reverse it. Stay here for an extra breath or go faster. Side angle.
Belly strong, warrior two. Find your reverse. Make it into a triangle pose. Hips and shoulders in the same zip code, in the same house, in the same room. And lizard pose. Hands down. High plank. Final vinyasa, low plank. An upward dog or a cobra could be deep, could be shallow, but open your heart either way. Protect your low back. Downward facing dog. Heel forward, high plank. Drop your knees. My favorite back bend. Keeping the knees, hips width distance, and right under those hips, Anahatasana, inchworm pose, puppy dog, whatever you refer to it as. It's a heart opener. The hands will walk forward, almost like a kitty cat finding its space on a pillow. The forehead, chin, or chest comes to the mat. If the shoulders get cranky, mine do, can bend the elbows out toward the sides of the mat and stack or touch your thumbs or fingertips. Come back to your intention for the practice. Glue the tops of the feet to the earth. Extend the front of the ankle. Imagine that the space behind the heart is in the shape of a cup, and it is receiving, just like we did at the beginning of practice with the earth's energy drawing up the arches of the heels and the inseams and onward. This time we're going to receive from space, from consciousness, from the energy stream of all living things. Allowing little droplets of that beautiful energy, those teachings, those opportunities, the goodness to drop, drop, drop into this cup or shallow bowl behind the heart. And as that goodness, those learnings are gathered up, they start to trickle around the heart like a beautiful hug. And maybe you notice a texture, a sense of texture, or a sense of color or scent of what is surrounding your heart, and allowing it to be vulnerable and protected at the same time. Tuck your tailbone, draw the belly in, find your way to a child's. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders and find your way to a seat. I'm going to move into a twist after this back bending. We're going to take the heel of the right foot underneath the left thigh. Bring it as close to the left glutes as you can. You might stay here with the bent left knee and the foot on the ground in front of the right ankle. Or you might cross the left ankle outside the right thigh. The closer your right heel is to your body, the easier that is. Everyone will join in a twist to the left. Make it your twist. Right elbow could be outside your left thigh or knee, or maybe you're using your hands. Breathe in, get tall. Exhale, twist. Gaze falls over to the left.
Come front and center. Bring your hands behind you. The fingers point toward the bottom. And shift onto your sacrum so you can shift the cross of your legs. Come forward. Organize the body for the twist on the other side. This side might feel different. Mine feels very different. My left quad is pretty tight. Come front and center. Soles of the feet together. Knees drop off to the side. Scoot your sitting bones toward your heels. And then one at a time, draw onto your elbows. A little extension of the low back and the torso. And then all the way to the mat for Supta Baddha Konasana. You're welcome to shift the arms overhead, maybe hook the thumbs. If that feels a little too vulnerable for you physically or emotionally, you can bring hands to the belly, or a hand to the heart, and a hand to the belly, or hands to your hip creases. Breathe in. Soften the hip creases. Hands come outside the knees or the thighs. Give them a little support as you bring the knees toward one another and then in toward the heart. Here, knee circles, happy baby, legs up the wall. Make it your own. It's the last posture before Shavasana. You might work on tucking the chin toward the chest, lifting the head to extend the neck, which helps to open up the low spine before you keep that neck long and drop the back of the head to the earth. Wherever you go, 3 breaths. If you have taken knee circles, make sure you take them in bi-directional. And then we move into our final resting posture, whatever that means for you today. In my practice today, that means spreading the feet wide to let the knees touch. Helps the hips, helps the low back. Palms drop upward so the backs of the hands are on the earth, and we make a little bit more space. Thumb to thumb, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. I won't say belly to belly, but I just said that. Breathe in. Let it go. You have taken this opportunity today to come to your mat. Congratulations. Kudos and thank you. You've taken the opportunity to make this practice what it needs to be for your body, your heart, and your mind. I send gratitude for that as well. You'll come to your mat caring for yourself, which better enables you to serve others. Deepen the breath, maybe taking a big cleansing breath first so that you can reawaken all the bits and bites and parts and components of the body, inside and out. That allows you to bend your knees, shift onto one side, maybe using the hips shifting to start, where we take a moment to reconsider intention or why we came to our mat. And press ourselves back to a comfortable seat. A seat we have not taken at all in this practice today. Hands draw toward the heart. They press their palms together. And it's as if the heart and the thumb knuckles are connected. Eyes can close or cast forward and down. We bring a little Buddha-like smile to our faces. Honor the practice that has brought us together, that enables us to continue in our lives with a little bit more kindness to ourselves and others. we celebrate that and send out all the merits of the practice and the intentions and maybe dedications, if you have them, outward to all those beings in need. We'll do so through the sound of an Om first by exhaling all the breath out of the lungs. Nice, deep, generous breath in. Thumb knuckles connect with the third eye center. You've made the practice yours. Make the day yours. Make each moment yours. Namaste. As always, a delight to practice with you. Love to have you back, or you see me and I don't see you, or if you're in Vermont and up for it and the weather is what it needs to be. Friday nights, 5:30 outdoors, yoga by the brook. It's a spa class. And Sundays, 8:30 in studio or outdoors. And then starting next week, we have our sip and stretch at the Inn on Saturdays, 11 a.m. And that is outdoors on the Featherbed Meadow, where Karen Rookwood's amazing scones and tea will be served following. Hope to see you, or maybe simply practice with you soon. My name is Karen. Have a great one.